You're on the couch with David Shapiro, and today we're at the Core Center in Sunninghill with Steve Mululu, the proprietor, owner, creator of Dream Body Fitness. Steve, just before we start, just show that to the camera. I want to see the left. Just put it up there. What neck size are you?
I have no idea.
I'm a 14 and a half. I can't find shirt. I have no doubt that you have the same problem trying to find a collar to fit you.
Fortunately, I'm always in t-shirts. I never wear collared shirts, so I never have that problem at all.
Steve, you're from Kenya.
Yeah.
You've made a huge success here in South Africa, running the gym, training people, teaching them how to eat. But I believe you're one of 60 children.
That's right.
Tell me about life in Kenya, and tell me how you got from one of 60 kids to running a successful business like this.
I'm born in a small village in Kenya. My father has got 4 wives, and I think he only read one verse in the Bible, procreate. And that's what
Go
he
forth
did.
and multiply.
That's what he did. And he's got 4 wives, and he made sure each wife has got 15 kids. And I'm one of those 15 kids. So in total, we're 60 siblings.
Where were you in the pecking order?
My mother is the first mother,
Right.
and I come in fourth in my family.
So you still have a lot of brothers and sisters. Do you keep in touch with them at all? Is it impossible?
Some of them I'm close to them. I'm not close to all of them. I mean, there's so many people. They're just people.
So how did you get from a small village in Kenya to South Africa, to running this gym? I mean, it must be an inspiration for a lot of people, particularly in Africa.
Because growing from a small village, growing from a very big family, the first thing that you fight for everything.
Yes.
If you're late for a minute, it makes a big difference between you having a meal and missing a meal. Because if you come home 1 minute late, somebody else will eat it. If you come home late at night, it makes a big difference between lying on a comfortable place or lying on a hard ground. So all of those things. And since I was young, purely it's been a case of me wanting to go out and improve myself. And I left home when I was very young, when I was 16, when I moved into the city. The city lies cold.
In Kenya?
In Kenya.
In Nairobi, I
Yeah.
presume.
Yeah.
And just what did you eat? What was the typical diet?
Traditional diet.
Traditional diet in Kenya.
Our traditional diet, remember, I always keep on telling people I had never seen a pizza till I came here. Our traditional,
Is that good or bad?
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a very good thing. Our traditional diet is like any other African diet, a lot of pap, beans, porridge, chicken on that occasion, maybe Christmas and all that, meat, and sometimes bread when it rains.
When it rains?
When it rains.
You mean when the wheat grows?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what. Steve, just on that, against that backdrop, how come Kenya continues to produce some of the best middle and long distance runners? You know, against a backdrop of poverty, of difficulties, etc., and against a backdrop of eating pap, eating bread when you
Now
can.
you'll find most people that are Kenyan runners are people just from one province, which is which is in the Rift Valley. Rift Valley, the diet is very, very typical. Most of them are river Nilots, which is their diet will be mostly your meat, your blood, and your milk. So it's a very high protein diet, a very high fat diet. And when it comes to them running, most of them are nomads. So things are very interspersed in between. If you have to go from here to a shop, and the shop is 2 hours away, chances are you have to run, and you're running to go get a necessity and come back. So when somebody starts dangling money in front of them that they can do this for a living, it becomes them being paid for a passion. It's no longer a profession for them. They've been doing these things since they were kids.
So it's just natural for them to run.
It's natural for them to run like that.
You're very into diet. It's a big part of Dream Body. You lecture people, you tell them. What's your typical diet, and what would you suggest for a person like me who's works most of the day in an office, stuffy office in front of a computer?
See, to answer that question, we go back to the obesity rate in South Africa right now and in the world in general. Because if you look at South Africa now, most of our people are getting fatter by the day.
Yeah.
I mean, and at this point, we have more people now dieting more than the amount of food that is out there to eat. We have so much good food to eat, and the more diets keeping us away from eating them. And the harder we diet and the more we exercise, the fatter we get. So people are very confused. When it comes to your dieting industry, the budget of the dieting industry is growing on a daily basis, while the waistline of the nation is growing also at the same rate. So there is a very big discontent there. People are very confused. People are trying as much as they can to diet, exercise as much as they can, but the opposite happens. So diets and exercise has completely failed to deliver on the promises it's given to people.
So what's the balance?
So there, and that's where we came in as Dream Body Fitness. Dream Body Fitness was never about diet, was never about exercise. Because if you have to talk about that, we have a lot of training or gyms in South Africa, we have a lot of diets already in the market. So we don't need any other new diet, we don't need another gym. The only thing that we needed is for you to understand how your body works and what's your relationship between you and the food that you eat. That's the only thing that people are lacking. Bringing another gym, bringing another diet won't solve the problem. Ours is to bridge that gap by bringing in education. Ours is purely to educate people. That's where everything is lacking. People don't know. If you don't understand, it becomes very easy for you to fall prey to any other new diet that is out there. And the more diets you do, the more you fail.
Let's talk about that one, because Tim Noakes is causing huge problems. Well, I don't know whether it's problems. He may be doing the right thing.
Yeah.
He's put people onto a very low carb, high fat. Is it a high fat diet,
Yeah.
etc.?
Yeah.
Where do you stand with regard to that? Is
My
he
answer,
in the right direction?
No, my answer to that is still the same thing.
I'm not causing controversy.
No, there's no controversy. There's no controversy, but it's not about having a new diet. It will be a fad for now. People are going to try it, and then after a couple of months, they don't lose weight, and then what happens? Then they'll still. You'll find most people that are dieters, they're serial dieters. They're continuously looking for the new diet on the market. And if you ask anybody that has been dieting, every second week they're busy looking for a new diet because they're expecting very quick results on the one they're on. They're expecting everything to be very easy, and when that doesn't happen, they start looking for another one. So the main thing is, whichever diet that people go on, there's a lot of things that we have to look at. They're forgetting the psychological aspect of dieting. The psychological and the physiological aspect. Gyms focus on the physiological aspect of your body. But there are sometimes when you eat food, just because it makes you happy.
You keep eating.
Yeah. If I tell you not to eat that food, of course you will agree, but when you're alone, you still eat it. And that will eventually affect how you feel. So I have to take that guilt away. I have to merge or make people understand that there is society hurtful values that tell you how you're supposed to look. And how you know you're supposed to look. Now, when you look the way you are now and society tells you, no, David, you're supposed to look the other way, then you become confused. Then that's when the dieting comes in.
So you're saying a lot of people are not eating to their correct body size. They're trying to shape themselves.
We're focusing on the wrong topic. We're focusing on obesity. But obesity is not the problem. The problem is more than anything else the politics in food. It is the food that is causing it. If I give you food now and you're full, you will stop eating. But if I give you food and you don't feel when you're full, how will you stop eating? You'll keep on eating and you'll keep on putting on more weight. And that becomes a problem for you because you know I shouldn't be. Most people that are struggling with food, or most people that are overweight, they exactly know what foods are causing them trouble. Why can't they stop eating them?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So they've brought that. Your brain has to communicate with you to tell your body that you have to stop eating because you're full. The way you dress right now, if we switch this, or the heat on these cameras go higher, and you start feeling hotter, how will your body respond to that?
Exactly.
If it gets very hot in here, how will your body respond to that? You take the jacket off. Yeah. And what happens if all of a sudden it becomes very cold in here? How will your body respond to that? You become cold, you start shivering, and that's how your body releases more heat to keep you alive. It's the same thing when it comes to your metabolism. The minute your body doesn't tell you you're full, you have no chance of ever knowing when you're full, which means you'll keep on eating till you end up drowning in your own fat. So that's the main thing, that we have to teach people how their bodies work. We have to teach people how their bodies respond to food.
Steve, where did you pick up this knowledge?
From the University of Life. Just
That's why. I mean, you didn't go on a dietitian course. You didn't
I'm not
go
your typical dietitian, because I don't have a diet degree. I've never been on any of that course. Mine is, I focus on the people around me, what they go through, and mine is to find solutions to immediate problems. And when you talk about obesity, your immediate problems, of course, is your lifestyle diseases, your diabetes, your stroke, your heart disease. I've had a lot of people in my family and in my immediate environment with those. For me, priority is to solve those. And to do that, fortunate enough, it can never be done using chemicals. It can only be done using food.
Natural food.
I don't believe that there has to be a pill for every pain. I believe that food can always solve all
You don't take vitamins? You take
vitamins is totally different. Vitamins is totally different. I don't believe in any pill that will change the chemical reaction of my body. That's totally different.
We're gonna have to end soon, but I'm gonna ask you as a last question.
Okay.
Give me your typical day, including what you eat.
My day is very easy. My day is, I always wake up, I'm up by 4:30 in the morning. I go have my shower. I eat breakfast with my dogs.
What breakfast? That's what
I eat.
Your dog could eat.
Yeah.
A cow. I mean, that's such a big dog.
I eat. In total, I eat 15 eggs for breakfast. Yeah. So.
Wait, I got to repeat that.
Yeah.
15 eggs.
I eat 15 eggs for breakfast.
For breakfast.
For breakfast.
Scrambled or just fried?
Just scrambled.
Okay.
Then of course I'll come to work. 3 hours later, I'll have 300 grams of fish and salad and some beans for my fiber. I'll repeat, I'll have another 15 eggs, but this I'll just drink eggs after another 3 hours. So my meals basically is either fish or eggs, and then I'll have a steak at night most of the times.
How do you like your steaks done?
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
Yeah.
Do you have chips with it?
I have chips occasionally. I have chips. My carbohydrates, I eat my carbohydrates twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah.
Steve, we're going to have to wrap up. It's been an absolute delight to be with you here. I'm going for lunch. I'm going to have one egg. You've been with David Shapiro on the couch.